dry, and they never told me this was a problem. Because the last thing, if you're in front of the disciplinary committee and you say, oh, David Williams told us to do this in a lecture, then all that will happen is I'll be next to you on the stand, and neither of us will both be in, shit, creep, that's a puddle. But anyway, so just a thought that it might not be quite so bad as ophthalmologists have always tried to make out. To remove these. But if you're good, do you guys replace these yourselves? Yeah, have you had good success with that? Yeah, so people go, yeah, I mean, I would say I have probably a 95% success rate in this. So one in every, what does that mean? 1 in every 20 will recur. No, maybe it's nearer 90%. One in every 10 maybe will recur. And so maybe actually also I've had dogs that have significant breathing difficulties with brachycephalic airway obstruction syndrome. And so maybe in those cases, if you've got a dog where there's an irritation from this and it's a poor surgical candidate, maybe then putting some local anesthetic drops in and just chopping it out might be a suggestion. Right, now, have you seen these? This is a scrolled third eyelid cartilage. How are we doing for time? So, 10 minutes? So here's an interesting one. So these, here the cartilage is actually scrolled. So here's actually an interesting one. We have the cat, which is an unusual case. Again, that looks like a cherry eye, but when we got to it, you saw that actually this part of the cartilage here was scrolled. So what we did here, we actually undermined that piece of the cartilage there, and then just chopped it out. So look, I love this. I was showing you this because it was a little bit out of focus, but I love just being able to see the scrolled part of the cartilage there, and then the cat was fine having done that surgery. Tell me, the cat was a bit irritated. It certainly had more tear production. This could be an animal with overproduction of tears because of irritation or an overflow of tears because of poor drainage. How would we work out whether it's one or the other? If we had more time, I'd just get you to chat between each other. The key thing here, the tip here is, if it's irritated and producing more tears, it will be continually blinking. This dog just stands there, looking at you with lots of tears coming down its face. The only problem the dog's got is the owner. The owner doesn't like the fact it's got all this tear staining down here. And you can try, there are loads of different drops that you can put in to try and reduce that tear staining. There's nothing really that will. And here the problem is that it's got an imperforate of a blocked nasolacrimal duct. What I tell people is, this nasolacrimal duct is maybe 0.5 millimeter wide. It's basically only really a potential duct, and the tears wick down it. So you only need a tiny bit of inflammation there to block that duct completely. Or maybe, when you look at the eye, if this is a young dog, you'll find all that's there, rather than a hole, is just a little dip in the conjunctiva. What you need to do here is what we call the Bowman 3-snip procedure. Here's my second bow tie of the day. Oh, here's Sir William Bowman, who worked out that actually what you need to do is cut down there and down there and down there. His 3 snips open up a lovely nasolacrimal duct under the conjunctiva there. So certainly easy to do that. What I would suggest is often you'll find the top duct is actually open. So cannulate that. Put get someone to flush some fluid quite powerfully down there, and you see this little bulge that comes there where the duct should be. Cut into there and you can open it. The only trouble is, if it hemorrhages too much, it can scar up again. So it can be quite difficult to make sure. I'd put some Maxitrol in there, maybe a couple of drops, 3 or 4 times a day for the week or 2 after surgery, to make sure that heals up without scarring. Here, though, is a dog which has been fine for a while, hasn't got a congenital defect like that previous one does. But look, it's got a whole load of discharge, mucky discharge, in the